Want to talk about yesterday's Strongman show, go over the video with some commentary about what went good and what went bad, what went terribly wrong. So first, I got this cool shirt for competing, Michigan's Strongest Man and Woman, and on the back of this one it has all of the sponsors for the show, which is pretty cool. So thanks to all those people for putting on the show. And Aaron West, the event promoter, did an awesome show again, although I am disappointed there were no Atlas Stones. But next year, I'm hoping. Glenn's dad bought Glenn and I this shirt. Same logo on the front, gray color. But instead of all the sponsors on the back, it says, "Nothing wrong with being strong." Super awesome shirt. So really a big thank you to Glenn's dad for being awesome and grabbing those shirts. And for everybody that came out to watch us, really, even if you could only come for a little bit, I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting myself and Glenn. That was really cool to have people there to talk to and to cheer us on. So without any further delay, here's the video with some commentary.
Starting with the squat here, you'll see I did set up a little bit for the competitor I was competing against, and that was unfortunately a false start. Here, they're estimating the weight of this is about 350 pounds, and we were training with 355, somewhere in that range. But really, it gets a lot heavier at the bottom because of a pendulum effect. Now, you'll see here, Glenn and I made the decision to just wear a belt, and I did put on wrist straps, because earlier in the day, we saw a woman lose the bar, and it came down on her elbows, and she broke both of her arms. So I was a little bit afraid of that. But you'll notice the guy to the right of me, he actually ended up taking second place with 19 reps. He is wearing briefs, squat briefs, and he's wearing knee sleeves. He's all equipped. Most of the guys wore knee wraps. So I'm really happy with this performance here from me. The most reps I had ever gotten in training was 8, and I managed to push through 13. That last rep there, I didn't think I had it, and I pushed through. Had some trouble moving around. Here with the overhead medley, log went up just as easy as I expected. Good time there. Unfortunately, when I got to the dumbbell, I had managed to push 130 in training a couple of times, but this dumbbell was huge. I could not figure out how to put it on my body to get a good pressing position. You'll see there, I just threw it away from me. I couldn't get my hands wrapped around it. We were training with fat grips, which is about 2 inches diameter. These things are closer to 2.5. I couldn't get my hands close. So this is all lack of familiarity with the implement here. So Glenn and I are either going to have to buy one of these things, which I think they said they were about $400, or just get strong enough that the oddness of the implement doesn't matter. Here's the farmer's walk. This is an event I was really worried about. It was supposed to be 3 turns. They made it 2 turns, same distance on the course. You'll see at the beginning there I kind of stumbled, but did manage to regain it. These farmers were really long. You'll see there they're twisting. First turn I managed to control it pretty good, but on the second turn here, when I come around it, I didn't manage to keep them straight. So that one just came, it clocked me in the knee, and I set it down, tried to re-pick it really quick. But I was worried about this with the shin splints. Still managed to do fairly well overall. So I'm just happy that I finished that. I was worried. Here's the sausage hold. This event was painful. I know it's not a lot of weight. I have really a lot of issues with my right shoulder, scar tissue, and I had a really hard time even doing a front lift, much less a front hold. So I didn't do too great on the time here. You'll see there, it's just shaking. I'm giving it everything I have just to hold it up as long as I can. And disappointing, those sausages are not sausages. Found out after Glenn went to go get a sausage that they were giving out, it's just 5 pounds of sand. So that was disappointing, but 43.44 seconds, it's not too bad. This event right here is probably the most disappointing for me. So the keg, not too bad there, made it in some decent time. Sandbag, this is our first time picking up a sandbag. You'll see here I'm starting to lose my hands, slipping on me, but I keep moving and finish it. But when I went to do the water barrel, I had a really hard time with my short arms actually reaching across it. Every time I managed to pick it up, it just came out of my fingertips. I was holding it with just 2 fingers on the top hand. Really, the only thing I can do there is buy one of these and start training with it, because it's something we didn't practice. I didn't know that it was going to be that big of an issue with my short arms. So that one right there cost me, ended up 5th place overall.
So, again, really disappointed with my performance in the front carry. Really irritated I couldn't get that dumbbell up. That demoralized me for the rest of the day. But I was happy with the squat. I was so happy that I managed to actually finish the farmers. I was really worried about that. But I think once they got rid of the 3rd turn and just made it a longer course with 2 turns, it was a little bit easier for me. Although, again, my farmers were maybe 2/3 of the length, so controlling the swing was a lot easier. When I got to the actual event, the swing there hitting my knees, I need to learn how to control that. So might have to invest in getting a new pair of farmers or making one of those, and we'll see about the dumbbell. I don't think that that's worth $400. I don't really have that much cash sitting around to spare. So that's probably just going to be working on pressing strength. Glenn and I are going to be changing our training to have a volume day, trying to build up reps in a short period of time like that. Didn't work out as well as I hoped, although, again, 13 reps is not too terrible. I do not want to go the route of getting a squat suit and putting on knee sleeves and everything else. I do like doing that just raw with a belt. Felt really good to get that many reps, and I am happy that I managed to push myself that hard. But we're still going to be doing our strength squat days where we hit singles, sometimes we do triples, and now we're going to add a volume day. So we're going to go from squatting once a week to twice a week. We're going to keep deadlifting on our normal schedule. We're going to be deadlifting on our volume day, because next year is probably going to be a deadlift on the cars, which will be, of course, heavier than the squat was, and it'll actually be a car. And really need to work on foot speed. Now that's something that we can't really do over the winter. I am going to let my shin splints heal now, so we're going to be working on strength, going to pull out the Atlas stones, going to keep the tire out, build up some work capacity so we don't lose it over the winter, and then really focus on foot speed. So might bring in something like sprinting, light farmers, moving as fast as we can, and next year's probably going to be a yoke instead of the farmer, so we're going to bring that back out, get training with that. But really just redoing the entire program, doing a lot more dumbbell pressing, although not too much, because my log press is nowhere where I want it to be. I want to be pressing around 275 for competing in middleweight. And that brings me to the last point that I have to do, is now I have to make the decision to cut weight, which I think I'm going to do. Probably going to be sticking to that. Got to get down to around 240, and then I can water weight cut to 231, which is where I would like to compete for both powerlifting and strongman. Want to try and do a powerlifting meet sometime either this winter or early spring, just to get that out of the way, experience that. Not as cool to watch, but still something that I want to do just to have my list validated. But that means I have to start benching again, so I'm going to start benching again in our programming. And really just making sure that we keep building the ability to push through pain and push through odd implements. So we're going to have to grab a sandbag. I want to get another keg if I can find one. Definitely have to figure out where to get one of these water barrels from and train that. So that's it. That's how the strongman competition went. What went good and what went bad. Well, those two events that disappointed me and made me feel like I wasn't prepared. But overall, Glenn and I did not take last and second to last, which is good. So we did manage to beat a competitor. And throughout the events, throughout the day, I did manage to actually hit a 3rd and a 4th place in the event itself. So that was pretty good. That felt nice. If I could have managed to finish the front carry, I would have actually managed to move up an entire place in the ranking regardless of my time. So really need to work on that. Alright, thanks for watching. Take it easy.